Welcome to ChampionsHeart. You can't play boxing. Featuring boxing addict Johnny Farache and friends from superfans to superstars. Let's roll.
Hey, boxing fans. Today is Tuesday, September 8th, and I am joined by Hall of Fame publicist from 15rounds.com, Mr. Marc Abrams.
What's up, Johnny?
How are you, my man?
Fight little bug here. I don't think it's anything that's been in the news, but you know, I just haven't been feeling great the last couple of days.
Well, man, hydrate up, rest up, get your fluids, get your nutrition, and then you got your wife there to take care of you.
Yep.
All right. Well, let's talk some boxing. There's definitely a bunch of boxing this weekend. Some controversial boxing as well. There's a couple to pick from. I'm going to go right to the Jamel Herring and Jonathan Oquendo fight. We all knew Herring was going to be in rough and tough with Oquendo, his fighting style. Said that before even going into it. But that was even rougher than I even thought it was going to be.
Yeah, it was a very...
let's talk about the fight itself first, yeah.
It was a very ugly fight that Herring was dominant. He won every round, dropped him. Kendo at a point taken away. So he was on his way to winning the fight, and I guess people are a little annoyed that Herring, after 3-4 rounds of the eye being cut open, decided to call it a night. He wasn't going to lose the fight. I don't see what the big hubbub. And then everyone was going crazy online about, should it be a DQ? Should it be a technical? Who cares? He was getting his hand raised either way. He won the fight. He's going to take some time off, rest up, heal up his eye, and then fight probably Frampton maybe end of the year, early next year.
Right. So let's talk about a couple of things inside of that real quick. It seemed as if the corner was a bit unsure, as if they would have perhaps potentially lost the match if they would have conceded. They weren't for sure if they should stop or not. I'm not. Yeah,
I guess so. I guess that's what their one thing was. I guess, once they knew that they weren't going to lose the fight, they were going to, they pulled the plug on it.
Right, they did pull the plug in. After that intentional headbutt, as they called it, I believe in the fifth round. But not going forward. I think Herring lost every round after that because he stayed inside, and it did affect him. He fought completely different.
I don't know if he won I don't know if he lost every round after. I thought he won, probably 6 of the 8 rounds, maybe 7 of the 8 rounds. So I don't know.
That was in the fifth round. He got headbutted intentionally,
correct,
right? And then the following 3 rounds, it seemed like those 3 rounds are kind of a different style of fight almost.
Yeah.
Right.
I don't know, it's much to do about nothing. Obviously, there are a lot of people who want their warriors to go out on their shield. And you know what? The bottom line is he won the fight. Let's move on.
Yeah, let's move on. And we are going to move on. One thing I do want to touch on, I think Andre Ward and Timothy Bradley, even though they're both warriors and they're both perfectionists, I think they were a bit hard on them. That was a brutal cut. But like you said, this is definitely going to move on to Carl Frampton, hopefully at the end of the year. They're both top-ranked fighters, right?
Yes. Frampton. Yeah, Frampton. He has association with Top Rank, correct?
Right on. Also, another big fight of the weekend: Yordenis Ugas.
An easy decision over Abel Ramos, and somehow the judges, I don't know what the heck they were watching. One judge gave Ramos 9 rounds. I don't know what the heck he was smoking on Sunday night.
And that's Dr. Lou Moretti, who's been there. He's like a long-time official, I mean, we could have a little side chat here about, should there be an age limit to officiating in boxing?
No, I don't know about that, because then you get into potential lawsuits and stuff like that. But, it was even the 2 judges that gave Ugas the fight, gave it to him 7 rounds to 5. He probably won 9-10 rounds in that fight, did Ugas. My thinking was maybe Moret was the one guy who had it right and just filled it in the wrong spot.
Yeah, that's what people are thinking. Perhaps he just kind of flip-flopped the score. It really meant to go for Ugas. Ugas picks up one of the belts that are out there. In my opinion, and this is my opinion I don't think he's above top 5 in the welterweight division. I think there's 5 or 6 other guys that are better than him in the division yet.
No, probably not, but he deserves the opportunity to get some good fights. I actually thought he beat Sean Porter, so so he deserves an opportunity to, once the Spence, Garcia, maybe Porter gets involved, maybe he deserves an opportunity to at least get his shot in there with one of those guys.
Ugas is PBC, so with that lineage, who do you see
Maybe,
Steely's most likely
maybe a
matchup would be-
rematch. Maybe a rematch with Jamal James, possibly something like that. There's some
Right.
other welterweights. I just names escape me off the top of my head. That maybe the kid we saw on the undercard, the kid Cody Crowley. He's 19-0. He's gonna at some point get a shot. So the PBC, one thing they don't is lack welterweights.
No, that's funny you say that. I was thinking the same thing. They have a ton of welterweights, so I guess that kind of helps their cause when they want to fight each other, within their own promotional banner all the time.
Mm-hmm.
What did you take from the Cody Crowley fight? He, passed his test.
Yeah, he fought pretty well against Josh Torres, and there's a little bit of buzz on him the next day. Seeing on Twitter and Facebook and so forth, and like I said, all these guys, when you get opportunities, they just have to. Either wait or their opportunity is going to come.
Yeah, absolutely. Super lightweight Omar Juarez was in a fight with tough man Dakota Linger, who most, including myself, I didn't think Linger was going to last for a couple rounds when he first came out with the style. But I'll tell you what, he gave Juarez a pretty good fight. I don't know if he won many rounds.
He's a tough, rough kid, Linger. He's a tough man. I believe he won some tough man championships, if I'm not mistaken. And sometimes and Juarez is just 21 years old. I actually interviewed him and Crowley last week. I had the privilege, to interview Juarez, and he gets it a little bit in terms he's just going to grow, take one fight at a time. Each fight is going to present a different maybe challenge for him. This one did in terms of going the rounds against a guy with 17, 18 fight. I believe he was like 12-3-2 or something coming in. Yep. And he did a nice job, Juarez.
He did a nice job, because I'll tell you what, Dakota Linger was coming for him.
Correct.
He came to fight, and he didn't make it easy. He made it rough. He kept throwing bombs, and it was tough. Another thing I noticed, too, if I wasn't mistaken, Omar Juarez does some youth motivational speaking and that sort of thing. So it must have been a pretty cool interview you had with them.
Yeah, you can see it's up on 15rounds.com or Abrams Boxing or Abrams Boxing YouTube. You could see it.
Awesome. So tell us a little bit about the Thompson Boxing Promotions 321 card.
I'm going to be honest, I didn't see it on Sunday night, but from my understanding, it was a very, very good card. I'm going to be honest, I just didn't see it. I was doing things and watching the PBC show.
Right on. And as the headlines read, Saul Chicano Bustos outpointing Luis Lopez.
Correct.
We're both undefeated up in conference.
The one thing about those shows, they put 3 fights and they're all competitive fights, both on paper and in the ring. So Mr. Thompson and my buddy Alex Campanova, they do a great job with not only those shows, but when we're back in normal mode, they do a great job with their series at the Doubletree, Ontario.
Awesome, yes, and I do see a lot of activity from them, and that's great. I see, all this boxing is definitely moving, gaining momentum, more fights. There was another fight this weekend across the pond. Not for sure if you heard or read about Samir Ziani with the 12th round stoppage over Alex Yomagani. I watched it this morning. I
heard it was a heck of a fight, and Ziani got the 12th round knockout, if I'm not mistaken.
Great fight, battle. If you guys against two southpaws, a really good technical and in fight too, in and out fight. It was a great fight. You guys
gotcha. Yeah, I haven't seen. I heard it was a good fight though.
Fun to watch. So also this last weekend, one of our homeboys from down here, the youngest fighter to be signed to Top Rank, Xander Zayas.
So his fight knocked out was first round knockout, right?
Yeah, first round knockout. The kid he fought was only 1-0, and he definitely, when they did what he needed to do, look forward to him coming back too.
Yep.
Keep your eye on him. Last week I spoke to Teofimo Sr. They did finally sign the contracts, I believe, yesterday.
It was officially announced this morning, and Teofimo Jr. was on ESPN. He was on First Take with Stephen A. and Max, and fight to go. October 17th, live on ESPN.
I heard possibly Edgar Berlanga may possibly be on the undercard.
I haven't heard anything. I think they're trying to do Alex Salcedo against was it Barboza possibly in the co-feature.
Okay, those guys are lining up to fight each other. So yeah, finally getting that. That's pretty good. And let's see, this weekend you have Mean Machine Can you say his last name for me?
Egis Kavalauskas fight Michael Zewski. I just interviewed Michael Zewski. The interview's up on 15rounds.com. Should be a very interesting fight. Zewski was very heralded coming up. He suffered a decision loss about 5 years ago against Konstantin Ponomarov, and he just went back to Canada. He's won about 10 straight since then. But, he knows, and like say in the interview, he's been begging for this opportunity. In fact, Zewski coming up was as highly regarded as Kavalauskas was. Kavalauskas performed very well against Crawford. Most people thought he scored a knockdown early, but he eventually got stopped. But it should be a very interesting fight because the winner will get something. I believe it's on ESPN Plus.
Awesome. Then Miguel
Mariaga
against Joel Gonzalez.
Yeah, I just interviewed Gonzalez as well. Again, the winner will get something. Mariaga was supposed to fight Shakur Stevenson. Joel Gonzalez did fight Shakur Stevenson for the vacant 126-pound belt. Came up short. So the winner will get right in line to possibly fight for the featherweight championship. Maybe, very possibly, maybe against the winner of Navarrete and Villa. It all depends what how that all shakes out.
Super stoked. And over in London this weekend, Anthony Yarde, Dex Spellman, light heavyweights.
Coming back from the loss against Kovalev, I think he has a knockout win since then and wants to get himself back in the title picture.
Right. Also hearing that Gary Russell Jr. and Devin Haney are...
Yeah, well, I'll see it when I believe it. A lot of Twitter talk.
Yeah. I'm just a little confused about why, Gary Russell's a featherweight, right?
Like I said, I'll believe...
It's such a stacked division. Why would you even want to look outside this video?
I'll believe it when I see it.
Right on, my man. Well, a little bit of boxing for you this week, and looking forward to this week and next weekend. We got some more good stuff coming up too, and we'll keep fall rolling, my man. I hope you feel better.
Thank you. I'm looking forward to next week.
All right, sounds good, my dude. Yeah, you dream big, live large, love life, feel better.
Please, thank you.